Andy Schmidt, Kieran McCowan and Brian Hitch reintroduced the world to the crime syndicate, as Earth 3 not only deals with the fact that all its caped wonders are horrible, horrible people, but Starro the Conqueror has decided to invade the Earth and make everything that much worse. Andy Schmidt wonderfully introduces us back to the crime syndicate in a very, very fun way that only an alternate Earth or reality can. I've always enjoyed Earth 3 and seeing what sort of stuff is different compared to the Prime Earth, and here is no different, since we get lots of little pieces of cool background information regarding the state of this world's America and its history. The book also has a great narration by the insanely arrogant Ultraman, who is the star of this issue, as we see lots of Metropolis and how it is tightly within his grip, but not without people like Cat Grant or Alexander Luthor pushing back against him, something which I wish to see more of in the coming issues. Despite Ultraman being the sole focus of the issue, the rest of the syndicate get some time to shine as well and reintroduce themselves in equally horrible ways, culminating in the inciting incident which is Starro's invasion, a classic Justice League story, which doesn't go like any of the villains think it will, while they are almost immediately all defeated by the Parasite, with seemingly only Gotham and Owlman left standing. And because they are all now possessed by the parasites, it means the world is now reduced to even more ruin than it already is. Kieran McCowan steps into the series as the main artist, and boy is his art great. I really liked how he captures the grotesque characteristics of all of these characters so well. They are all warped versions of heroes after all, and I like how their overall looks are warped as well. Like Ultraman has not some boyishly handsome Kansas guy look, he's more stony faced with a heavy brow, making him look more like a brute, which he is. Brian Hitch also lent his talents to the backup story which details Ultraman's origins, and I loved how he made his opening page a warped version of Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's All-Star Superman origin. It's something that's happened multiple times before, and I always love when it happens. His art was pretty standard for him in that it was pretty damn good to see, and it sort of has that scale that Brian Hitch does with his work, which I really enjoy, and he's got a great eye for perspective and making things seem pretty grand, even if it's small things like just Clark's origins being told on the farm. Crime Syndicate issue 1 was a fantastic reintroduction to Earth 3 and its villainous heroes, all who get ample time to show off what terrible, terrible people they really are. I really enjoyed the arrogant, holier-than-thou narration by Ultraman throughout the issue, as well as the backup which is running throughout the entire series and looks to be detailing the villain's origins, which should be a lot of fun as it will give us more time to explore the dark and violent Earth 3. I'm going to give this issue a 9.5 out of 10. Crime Syndicate issue 1 heads to 1962, where JFK is parading through Dallas, Texas to crowds of people protesting him about his actions in Cuba. Suddenly he is killed by a heat vision blast, and the people celebrate as they watch a small boy fly through the sky. In the present day Metropolis, a man laments how recently so many weirdos have been popping up all over the country, thinking that they know that the one they have in Metropolis was a one-off. The paper salesman says what he would give to have 2020 back, as they find the Daily Planet has published a hit piece on Ultraman. The paper is suddenly burned up, snatched from the man's hands and crumpled up as the people know he doesn't look happy today. At the Daily Planet, editor Cat Grant calls for a coffee from Jimmy Olsen, who wonders if it was such a good idea about the hit piece. Cat says that Ultraman is a witless coward as the villain smashes their paper truck through the window. Cat stands up to the man, saying that not everyone is afraid of him and they don't know him like she does. Ultraman says that he's more than she can comprehend, as Cat says that she can be killed, but there will always be someone else to rise up against him, like Alexander Luthor. Ultraman doesn't care for Luthor since Metropolis would never choose a bold weakling over him. He says Cat is free because he allows it, and she will respect him, so she is not to run any more fake news about him, otherwise he will kill her entire staff, including the janitors. Cat goes to talk, but Ultraman shuts her up, hearing something that Cat's ears couldn't possibly hear. In Arnold DC, Agent Calabrese says that no one can disturb the president at this time, as the FBI agents have reasons to believe the ambassador from Themyscira is exerting undue influence over the president. Calabrese says that the men have to respect the name of Themyscira and Donna Troy, as inside the Oval Office, Donna demands Oliver Queen tell her who's the real power behind the presidency. Oliver says that she is, and she will get whatever she wants access to. It's revealed that Superwoman has Oliver tied up in her barbed wire as the FBI agents rush in. Suddenly the office explodes thanks to an earthquake, but Superwoman knows it was something far bigger than an earthquake. In Coast City, a cop beats on a hooded man as Power Ring watches above, told by the ring that he serves justice and he always wants to wait, afraid to act with the power it gives him. John tells the ring that he's got this as he grabs the men with a construct, saying both are accused of theft for one and preying on the weak for the other, and thanks to it, they have both betrayed the collective. The cop tries to talk to John, knowing that he used to be a cop like him and he knows what it was like to put a squeeze on the kids. John convicts the men, dropping them from the sky and killing them, as the ring tells John that they are there and he is the world's only defense, since not even the Kryptonian addict can save the people. In Central City, Johnny Quick and Atomica blow their way through a group of men, with Atomica noticing how one of their faces is still hanging from Johnny's crowbar, something he can't see since he's busy keeping an eye on the road ahead. The ground suddenly shakes below them, upending Johnny and smashing him and Atomica into a car. Around the world, the villains of Earth 3 battle the Starro, but almost immediately Johnny is taken by the creature, put under its control, as Power Ring says this is Jon Stewart's destiny. Ultraman continues to battle the creatures, knowing nothing can kill him or hurt him, and Metropolis is his. His battle with the creatures causes him to slam hard into the ground, where the people begin to cheer for him, but he realizes the creatures aren't attacking him, they're attacking his brain, preventing him from thinking about ripping it off. Ultraman fights the influence of the Starro attached to his chest, knowing if Metropolis can't be his, it will be no one's. He begins burning the city and its people, as Starro says there is now no Ultraman, there is only Starro. In Gotham City, Owlman attacks a thug robbing a man, telling the victim to spread the word that the Talons stalk the city and making moves in it means they answer to them. He kills the thug by snapping his neck, as the man he saved begins snapping pictures for his Pixtagram. Owlman knows he shouldn't have done that, as the man is shot in the back by Alfred, who says he's always cleaning up after Thomas's messes. Owlman knows that he had this covered, as he gets reports of cities all around the world being attacked by a global alien invasion. He tells Alfred to get the Talons to put the city into full lockdown, as Alfred knows every major city was invaded, yet Gotham wasn't, making him upset that it's not counted as a major city. Owlman knows that everything happens for a reason, and he intends to find out that reason and exploit it. Years in the past, a scientist from Krypton rockets his son off their dying world, sending it to the faraway planet Earth, where it is found by not a kindly couple, but a pair of duplicitous bastards. In 1963 Smallville, the young Clark is told by his ma and pa that he needs to plow the west field before he loads the hay bales. Clark doesn't want to, but his mum stops him, saying that he doesn't want to be like those deplorable freeloaders, does he? Clark knows his parents were the best, knowing he could always trust them. He remembers when his abilities manifested and the other kids saw that he was different and better at everything than they were. He doesn't think the kids will like him, but his mother tells him that they will, since he just needs to show them how to be a good boy and be obedient. But it doesn't matter, since he doesn't need them, since he's got his mother and father, and as long as he's a good boy, they will be there for him. Clark begins to think the people who just call him names are just a bunch of ungrateful freeloaders, as one night he begins to realize his parents aren't doing anything around the farm, just kicking back with their feet up while he does all of the work. His parents decide it's time to tell him the truth about where he comes from, saying they kept Clark to themselves since others may try and enslave him. They know he was sent to them as a gift, telling the boy that he would die without his ma and pa, since they will always protect him and always have. They show him the ship that he arrived on Earth in, and that he's the last of his kind and they are all he's got now. Clark knows better though, knowing their protection was inadequate since the whole town knows his secret anyway. He rips the ship from the ground of the barn, calling his parents liars. Ma tries to tell him that he's got it all wrong, and after all they've done, he's just now going to leave. Clark knows he doesn't owe them a thing, and a couple of humans can't do anything for him, and all they have done is use him for their own advantage, and they were only worried someone else would use him instead. He leaves the farm with the ship, calling his parents a bunch of freeloaders, as Martha and Jonathan Kent hope he will come back to them.